Horseback therapy is used to treat a variety of disabilities, and here with me are Steve Akre and Mary Ladd of Equine-Assisted Therapy, a great organization right here in the St. Louis area. And equine therapy, Steve, is something that we've been hearing. We hear a lot about. It seems more and more. So tell us a little bit about your organization and kind of the history and how you got started.
Okay. So our organization is in its 15th year. It was founded by Gary and Ginny Hartke. And when we got started years ago, we had one horse, one student, and we've grown ever since.
One horse and one student. That's quite. And now, what do you have?
7 certified instructors and 13 therapy horses.
Wow,
Yes.
very good. So how has it grown over the years then?
Well, we've moved from one facility, and then we've had a wonderful relationship with the City of Town and Country at Longview Park. And from there, we've grown. We had a very generous donation years ago, and we have our main facility now on 109 and Old State Road in Wildwood. We have an indoor arena. Before, in the summertime, we couldn't have lessons because it was too hot for our students, too hot for the horses. In the winter, it was just the opposite. Sure. But now we have year-round activity.
So a lot of it happens inside in the arena then, the training?
It depends on the weather, but yes, it does. It certainly does.
The kids love to be outside, so if we have beautiful trails too.
Oh, great. So Mary, and you're an instructor.
Yes.
You're right there with these kids. So
it's pretty incredible.
And you've been teaching for how many years?
12 years since we started the program in the very beginning, yes. I actually started off as a volunteer and fell in love with the program and then studied to become an instructor, so.
And you've probably been around horses your whole life?
Probably the latter part of my adult life. So it's part of putting the passion with the horses, and then with the kids, putting two together is just incredible. Watching the bonding between either the student and the horse, or the volunteer and the student.
So what drew you to equine therapy as opposed to just general instruction for the public? Actually,
Ginny drew me in. I was boarding my horse where she was starting the program, and asked me to come volunteer because they're a pivotal part of the program. If we don't have volunteers, we can't run the program. And I started off again like a volunteer, and actually I love working with the disabled, probably better than I would with an able-bodied child, just because the reward is incredible and they give so much more.
The kids.
Yes, very much so.
They show you
yes.
Their happiness and joy that they're receiving.
Right. And it depends on what their disability is, what they're receiving on the horse.
Yeah. So Steve, let's talk a little bit about that. You're a board member. You have been since the beginning. So tell us about the types of clientele you have, the types of disabilities that you all work with.
We work with really clients from age 2 to age 20. We work with children that have probably every spectrum of the autism range. We work with muscular dystrophy, we work with children, and then we've had a program before with adults. We have adult programs for women that ride. Most of them have some handicaps. We've had another program with veterans, and these programs have all been operated out of our, really mostly out of our Wildwood facility, but certainly in our Town and Country facility too.
Okay. And Mary, when you first meet a child who, I would assume most of these children have not had experience around horses.
No, actually sometimes that's the first time they're getting on a horse.
So what is it like for them? Is there fear?
There is fear, and that's why the trust is so incredibly important, and that's one of the things that the children gain from riding the horse is confidence. If you can imagine putting an able-bodied person on a big unpredictable animal, so then there has to be a lot of trust with these students, the trust in the instructor, the horse, the volunteers. So sometimes the smallest accomplishment, having them mount the horse, is fabulous in itself. And to watch the progression in the 7-week session on how far these students come.
So a typical session is 7
Yes,
weeks,
ma'am.
so once a week.
For an hour.
These children come. And do you typically are teaching them one-on-one?
I have 4 students in a class.
Okay.
So, and I'm high energy, so I will bounce back and forth. And again, it depends on what their disability is, on what we offer them. Okay. If it's a physical attribute and we're working on core strength, then that's going to be a lot of riding physically on the horse. Sometimes you're working on cognitive skills, fine motor skills. Sometimes it's just letting them get along with other students, trust of an animal.
Good. All right. Well, we're going to take a quick break right now. When we come back, we're going to hear a little bit more about how people can get involved. So we'll have much more with Equine-Assisted Therapy after this. Stay with us.